Voting Slav TV.
At a time when white South African farmers are fearing for their lives under a government that calls for their complete removal, and during a time when African Americans murder innocent middle-class white Americans while yelling "kill all white people," you would think that blacktivists and SJWs would finally admit that racism and hatred towards whites is a serious problem. Unfortunately, this still isn't the case in 2018 because black SJWs are still too busy getting triggered by beer commercials. A few days back, Heineken released a harmless beer commercial with the slogan "Lighter is better," referencing their light beer, and as you may have guessed by now, this was more than enough hateful material to make black SJW morons go bananas. No pun intended. Now, before we jump into the idiocy that resulted from all this, let's first take a look at Heineken's extremely racist bit of propaganda.
Ooh, it's another sculpture. Ooh, it's another sculpture.
As you saw, the ad features a googly-eyed ponytailed bartender who spots an obviously non-white Thai-looking woman and then proceeds to slide a beer her way. As the beer slides down this oddly long bar table, it passes by several black people, only to end up in the hands of the light-skinned Asian woman and a glass of white wine beside her. Obviously, to anyone with half a brain, this ad is completely harmless and even relatively diverse in its choice of actors, but to the average whiny black SJW, the ad is a racial attack of epic proportions. Instead of just seeing the beer ad for simply just being a beer ad, black celebrities and their brainwashed followers felt the need to brew up an internet shitstorm of racist accusations against Heineken, which forced the beer company to remove the ad entirely. In this instance, the Kang behind the anti-racist beer movement was a scrawny guy by the name of Chance the Rapper who just had to take his racist beer beef to Twitter in order to fulfill his daily dose of virtue signaling. In his original tweet, Chance wrote, "I think some companies are purposely putting out noticeably racist ads so they can get more views, and that shit racist/bogus, so I guess I shouldn't help by posting about it," says the moron as he posts about it. But I got to say though, the "sometimes lighter is better" Heineken commercial is terribly racist, OMG. OMG, it's so racist. He then followed up with a second tweet, which had the sentence structure and grammar of a kindergarten child, in which he stated, "I'm not saying boycott them or go off, I'm just noticing how often it happens, and I think they are baiting consumers and tweeters and freelancers and shit. Like, I didn't want to tweet about it so bad, but it's like, how can you not?" Yes, Chance, I'm sure you're not dying for internet attention by asking your fans to boycott Heineken and then telling them twice in a row about how you don't want to tweet about it while tweeting about it. Also, for a guy who raps about being a hardcore gangster and busting guns, you sure seem overly triggered by a beer ad that literally didn't do nothing. Following this painfully and poorly spelled out piece of attempted Kang activism, Twitter exploded with tweets from Chance's fans who blindly sided with the rapper and angrily attacked Heineken, demanding that the ad be removed. Having seen the consequences that H&M faced a few months ago over the entire "coolest monkey in the jungle" t-shirt fiasco, Heineken sadly cocked under pressure and decided to pull the ad. Shortly after, Heineken released a public statement claiming they had quote-unquote missed the mark and that they would use the current feedback for future campaigns. The beer company, which has always been praised for embracing diversity, even released ads with the slogan "Open Your World," featuring people of different ethnicities, but obviously this doesn't matter when you're eager to prove to the world that beer is racist. Other black snowflakes, including Trevor Noah of The Daily Show, also took shots at Heineken in yet another extremely cringy video, which only went on to confirm how desperate some of these black celebrities are to make something out of nothing.
Like, I bet the ad guys are putting racism into ads just to get our attention. It's like, okay, guys, I don't feel good about this, but if we want this Home Depot commercial to pop, we're gonna have to stick a Klansman into it, okay?
Just like Chase, Noah is convinced that Heineken purposely created a racially charged anti-black ad to steer controversy, when in reality the beer company simply created a very clever ad which didn't even have a trace of racism in it to begin with.
Heineken, why? What were you doing? Like, how are you gonna make an ad where you say lighter is better and then you slide a beer past all the dark people like it's some kind of racist curling? What are you doing?
Heineken, which is a beer that I'm sure these same blacktivists drank a lot more of before they started chugging liberal Kool-Aid, is a classic example of a brand that's been bullied off TV by the same leftist mobs whose only goal in life is to play victim while being offended by anything and everything. Whether it's the coolest monkey in the jungle or lighter is better, it seems that no company is safe from being labeled racist for slogans that are simply meant to be sarcastic and harmless marketing tools. So the next time that you're sitting at the bar and you order a Heineken, just keep in mind that light beer is for racists, so instead be a Kang and get yourself a dark one.